It says right here, you are live. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Gene Jensen, and we are hanging out with Mr. Chad Hoover. That's Joe in the back. Don't ever want to get Joed. And then we got here 10 or 12 of the best kayak anglers on the planet. And we are currently in the middle of a tournament called the 10. The top 10 points guy, or what are they, points leaders in
The top 10 in the angler
yeah,
standings.
top 10 of the Angler of the Year standings for KBF. They're fishing head to head, winner take all, $10,000. So we're gonna make somebody $10,000 richer tomorrow. And right now the fishing's pretty tough. So I'm gonna flip it around. That's what we're gonna talk about right now. What's up, everybody? Hey, what's going on? And we're just gonna kind of shoot the crap right now about this wonderful place called Bienville during a cold front. First of all, Mr. Hoover, tell us a little bit about the 10. What was your idea behind the 10?
The idea behind the 10 was to bring, kind of those top anglers together and take them to a place that's special, give them a special opportunity, make it fun, but at the same time, give them an opportunity to compete head to head against the other top 10 guys in the country to see how they all stack up against each other, to see how they gel as a cohesive unit, and then how they also kind of, if there's any friction that gets created as competitors. So the great thing about it is most of the guys treat it the way it is, and we hope it stays that way. All the guys so far treat it for what it is. It's a camaraderie based experience. It's a team building experience. It's an opportunity to legitimately go out and learn from the other guys, and most of these guys may not have actually went head to head with any other guy because there's so many tournaments around the country. Well, they may have seen each other a couple times here and there, or guys that are from the same region may have fished together, but none of these guys all fished the same event other than the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship. So it's a great way to get them all together. We put them all in the same house. That way, not only are they fishing together, but they're eating together and they're sleeping. Well, they're not sleeping together, but they're playing together and staying together, and that's a cool, kind of a camaraderie based deal. We got a little side story going on this year in that, well, actually, we got two parallels. The 10 will always invite back the previous year's champion. So the 10 could be 11. This year it happens to be 12 because last year we had a tie because of a kind of a loophole in the rules. And so Corey Dreyer and Ryan Champion are both here for what we call unfinished business. And regardless of whether they win it or not, whichever one of them finishes the highest takes home a $1,000 bonus. If they win it, they win $11,000. And then we also have the Angler of the Year six-way tie being settled here. So whichever one of the guys that are the highest out of those six at the end of this event becomes the Angler of the Year, and that's a $5,000 bonus that's awarded at the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship.
So who's the current reigning Angler of the Year?
That'd be Mr. Jay Wallen from Lexington, Kentucky, right over there. You guys might know him as Juicy J. That's his name.
So after the first day, who's in the lead? Do we know?
Yes.
Are we keeping it quiet?
Jamie, stand up.
Jamie, are you in the lead?
For now.
For now.
That's right.
How many inches you got today? 80?
72.
72. 72. So, somebody just said roll tide.
Amen.
Oh, Jamie, you're a Tide fan?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. We're just kind of hanging out here in one of the cabins with these guys. And the fishing's been really tough. How tough has it been?
I got 7 bites today.
Jamie got 7 bites today. How many did you catch?
7.
So you fished a perfect day.
Well,
7
I
bites
flew
and
over
7
the
fish.
kayak. Does that count? I didn't put my hands on it, but I
No.
don't think you would have kept. But then I had 7 bites and caught 6 fish.
Right. No, I don't believe so. Who had the worst day today?
That would be me and Brad.
They both got skunked. And I can say it was tough. I mean, I went to another lake, and I was sitting over the most fish I've seen in a fish on the bottom of, in a fish finder for years, and using a jigging blade, and I for 3 hours, and I got 1 bite and caught 1 fish, and so they're Florida bass. They don't like to be cold, and the water temperature was what today on Lake 14? 46, 47. Yeah, I was showing 40, high 40s. That's the coldest I've ever seen it in Florida. It's freaking cold. And these Florida bass, they like the sun, they like it warm, and they like to eat soft plastic that's warming.
Well, and here's the thing though, and that doesn't mean they don't bite, because we have another tournament going on called the Bienville Bass and Members Only Tournament, where all KBF members are invited to come. We have 59 people in that tournament, and the best stringer put up over there was 102 inches today. So that dude laid the smack down. Unfortunately, he had some rules infractions and things like that. So if you go look at the leaderboard, it's not going to be there. But 102 inches, that's a good day no matter where you're fishing. That's an over 20-inch average. That's stout, especially when there are 20 plus people in that event that didn't catch a single fish, and then there are people in the 10 who are they're the top anglers from around the country that didn't catch fish. To put up 102 inches on a day like that is pretty dang impressive, no matter how you slice it. And a 24 and a quarter was caught. That was that guy's personal best.
A 24 and a quarter?
24 and a quarter.
How much do you think that weighed?
I saw it. It was at least 8 and a half. It could have been 9, but it was kind of early in the feeding time, so it didn't have that really big swollen gut. But it was a big fish. We actually got it on video for the show, and it'll be in the episode. So it was a stud, and it was that guy's personal best.
That's awesome.
Attorney X actually calls out personal best if it's your biggest fish you've ever entered in the series, and today I counted personal best between the competitors that are fishing here.
So 9 personal best on
9 out of
tournament.
72 people catching their personal best is ain't nothing to sneeze at, no matter how you slice it. That's pretty impressive.
Yep, exactly.
This place can be magic.
Somebody says, seems like nobody but you two really want to be on the camera.
Well, that's because we were just on camera for like.
Yeah, we just
an
did
hour.
interviews
These
and
guys were all
stuff.
Kind of laughed out.
Yep, and they're worn out. So I told them they could leave if they wanted to leave. But one thing, if any of you guys are fishing KBF tournaments, go read the rules, read the changes for this year. Like I said today earlier, it's just like the beginning of hunting season. You always go read the regulations to make sure you know them and you know the ones that have changed and everything else. I wouldn't enter my first tournament of the year and not go and read the rules the night before. I just wouldn't do it. So I feel bad for the guy that caught 102 inches and all of them got disqualified. I really do, man. That just sucks. But you got to read the rules. So anyway, got any questions? Especially for these knuckleheads that are sitting here around looking like they got their thumbs up their butt. Somebody said them boys need some rest. What was the infraction? The infraction was he put the identifier on the fish, and that was one of the rules changes that you got to have it. You can't place the identifier on the fish because a lot of people keep covering it up with their hand, and then when you cover the identifier, then you get disqualified anyway. So they just took out that altogether and just made it to where you just didn't put it on the fish. And he did that with every single one of those big fish. Poor guy. So, how's Chad's diet going? He's lost 12 pounds as of since January 1st. 12 more pounds. And I've lost 12 pounds myself since January 1st. Kayak fishing, 60-degree weather in Charleston tomorrow. Any advice? What's the water temperature? Do we know? I'm guessing in Charleston it's probably pretty dang cold. So, small and slow. Yep, small and slow. Shaky head, finesse worm. So, how long have you been fishing? I've been fishing for 42 years. Since I was 1 year old. Let's see. Y'all can go if you want to. You just kind of do this. You ain't got to hang around for this. Go to sleep. Y'all go get prepped for tomorrow. What kind of bait are you throwing here in Florida? I actually threw a blade bait today and caught one fish. If I was fishing this tournament, I'd tie on a black shaky head trick worm and go to town tomorrow is what I would do. So, what? YouTube. Yep, this ain't a Facebook Live. I don't do those. Let's see. Are you and Chad and Christy coming to Idaho this year? Chad, are we going to Idaho this year? Hoover. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Hey, Steven, what's up, man? That's my brother right there. The old brother from another mother.
G8.
So says this guy says I live in Tampa, Florida, and the square bill crankbaits are killing them. Yeah, dude, we're heading down that way after this. We're gonna go down to Lakeland for a few days. I may stay a few days extra, so I hear the fishing's pretty good down that way. First time live watcher, long time video watcher. Thanks, man. Delta F508 had to be a number. I'm dyslexic. Did I bring my Concept Z to Florida? Yes, and I loaned it to Corey. What do you think of the Z, Corey?
It is great.
Why?
Smooth, extremely quiet. It's very lightweight. I actually like the color. I know some guys don't.
I don't.
I actually love it. So I had it paired up right now with a 7.1 Muse and throwing soft plastics on it, and did pretty well today.
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah, it's
Good
very
first impressions then, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good reel.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out.
Yeah, the cold beer is in the fridge, but I don't drink, so it's gonna stay there. Do I ever go ice fishing? I did a couple years ago with 13 Fishing. It was fun, but I won't do it for a while. Let's see, you coming to Southern Cal ever? I don't know if I'm going to SoCal. I know I'm going to Northern Cal sometime this year. I need to get with old Matt Allen and talk to him about it. Sweet, somebody hit 1,400 subscribers today. That's cool. Is that Fate Black a good frogging rod? The what is it? I can't remember what the heavy one is. It's a pretty good frogging rod. I like a short frog rod though. Do I ever fish Michigan? I did last year, this time of the year last year, matter of fact. Kim Daly, we're going to do this for about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed. I've been awake since 5 o'clock this morning. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night, so. The same green chair is in the back. Somebody remembers that green chair. What does it look like now? It doesn't look like a green chair anymore, does it? Me and Chad did a live last year, and that green chair was in our background. It was not a pretty picture. Oh. Let's see. Fluke, please recommend a Chicago fisherman a good solid flipping and pitching rod.
Flip and pitch 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I like a 711 G Loomis would be a good one. 711 heavy, but I pitch with a 7'3". I'm just a lot more accurate with it. But anywhere above 7 feet, you're doing good. And you can have a heavy or a medium heavy. Medium heavy I do with docks and stuff like that because I get a lot more flex in it. But if I'm just flipping and pitching to cover, it's going to be a heavy action rod. Oh gosh, you guys are freaking commenting like crazy, and I'm missing them all. Gene and Chad, do y'all use the Whopper Plopper? Hey, let me ask these guys. Hey guys, does Chad use a Whopper Plopper?
I don't know if Chad uses one, but I use one.
Yeah, did anybody ever seen Chad not use one?
I remember Chad using the Whopper Plopper
Before
years ago.
Yeah, before people even knew what it was. So yeah, I use it too. One thing I've learned about Whopper Plopper though is it works a lot better when it's really windy outside than a buzzbait. So if it's slick water, I throw a buzzbait. If it's choppy water, I throw a Whopper Plopper. Yep. Yep. Andrew Finney says, been blessed by your simple teachings of all the lures and techniques, but the most inspiring thing is from your love for people and your fellow anglers. We'll always support this channel. Cool. Appreciate it, Andrew. Thanks, man. That's awesome. IP Fishing, tips for growing a channel. Be consistent. I'm horrible at it. Be consistent, especially this day and age. Produce the best videos you can and be yourself too, man. And you'll grow. There's a certain number of people out there that'll like you. Come check me out for dope edits.
I like a good dope edit.
I like a good dope edit too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's how. Oh man, Bass Geek. Yeah, you nailed it, dude.
Shameless plug, Gene.
You need a shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
So, Ron Champion, he's one of my favorite people on the planet. And he's got a new brand that he's come out with, which is really pretty neat. What is it? Tell me about it. I know we don't have a shirt, but we'll show you one day.
It's called Built to Fish.
Built to Fish.
Yeah, that's how God made me. I'm built to fish. And fishing one, you're my kind of.
So if you ever see me wearing a t-shirt that says B2F, you know that it means built to fish. Here you go. Let me show you. Let me flip it so you guys can see it. So that's the logo, and it means built to fish. It's a pretty cool little deal. And so you'll see me wear that shirt every once in a while. I got a couple of them from him.
We got a Facebook page and Instagram.
Yep. So that's your shameless plug. That's all you get. uh, let's see. One bait tomorrow in Middle Tennessee. What would it be? Middle Tennessee, Alabama rig, and a floating fly. I'd be chunking a 10-foot leadered floating fly is what I'd be throwing. Let's see. Ask him if they come in bent brims, please. Yes.
Oh yeah, we don't have flat bills.
No, they don't have flat bills.
We have normal,
Yep. He don't believe in flat bills.
well,
Ron Champion's too good for a flag bill.
I'll make it.
Oh. Okay, here's a good question. This guy asked, how do you get into kayak bass fishing?
Buy kayak.
Buy kayak. That's a good start.
Look up your local state club and see if you can find a local kayak grassroots club at your state level.
How do you find those?
Social media, Facebook.
Facebook pages?
Yep.
Get
Yep.
on
Look,
kayak bass fishing on Facebook, ask around. I guarantee you'll have somebody that's local to you.
Yeah.
Get out, like Jay said, check out some clubs and just show up. You don't even have to enter the tournament.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to a tournament February the 3rd. I don't even know if I'm going to enter it. I may just go and fish alongside them.
Yeah.
So sore them out their fish.
I started out fishing online tournaments.
Did you? So there's online tournaments, there's local tournaments, there's national tournaments, and all these guys fish all of them, really.
Yeah, and they can go to Tourney X page too, and there's all the clubs are listed right there.
Yep.
Online
You can search
and-
by state as well.
Yep. Cool. Hey, Alex, what's going on, man? Alex is one of my favorite channels. Like down to earth, crazy accent. Sorry, man. I'm making fun of you now. What oil do you use for the CZB bearings? I don't know. I'd have to ask what Matt recommends. I know he says that you don't need to oil them, but I'm not buying that. I got to oil them, but because there's no ball bearings in them, I bet you all you have to do is just dab the oil applicator on the bearings, and that'll be enough, for sure. But I'll find all that stuff out here in the near future. I'm gonna go down and visit them next week.
We put that reel through a lot so far.
Oh yeah, this year
Saltwater.
I've done saltwater twice. I've done a saltwater for a total of 12 days. Caught a 40-pound black drum on it. Caught my personal best shoal bass. Caught a big river largemouth, about a 5-6 pound river largemouth, and beat the living crap out of it. And it's still, I haven't even greased it, oiled it, or anything, even after having it in salt for that long.
Well, they retail them at real.
$200. So, yep,
That's the orange one, right?
yep.
Gotta be tough though, not using the orange reel, wearing a red hat.
Yeah. Bradley, do you still use the same lead or not after losing that big red? Yes, but that knot I tied lazy, and I knew I'd done it. I didn't do enough half hitches at the end. I usually do 3 half hitches. I only did 1. Well, no, I do 2, and then I do 5 half hitches. I only did 3, and they came unraveled. So it was my fault completely. User error, but I still use the FG knot. Let's see. What's up, Kevin? How's it going, man? What do you think of super tuning a reel? Is it worth it? I never have, because I never thought it was worth it, to be honest with you. I live in Texas, close to a lake that is fed by a river. How far up and down the river will the bass from the lake travel? Dude, miles and miles and miles. I fish river stretches that are miles from rivers and still catch largemouth and everything else. So, what can you say about the reviews that say the Concept Z is loud when you cast? I'm gonna be very, very specific about this. The one guy that I watched that said it was loud, I went out and tried to duplicate his sound with my Concept Z. The only way I could do that is if I loosened the cast control knob up way further, way further than you are supposed to. My bet is that he did that on purpose. I bet you money that he called or contacted 13 Fishing, asked for a free reel. They told him no, and he made that video to rip on 13 Fishing. That was the feeling I got when I watched the video, and it's really not loud. It really isn't. If you loosen it up, or if you make it to where the spool is really, really loose, it's going to make that noise every time. But every reel on this planet is going to make that noise when you do that. So I don't buy it. Do they carry Chad's book at Barnes and? Hey, Chad, do they carry your book at Barnes and Noble?
Yes.
Yes.
Just in select stores, but you can order it from.
You can order it online. Yep. So, best soft plastics in the winter. Yeah, swim baits, something that doesn't have a whole lot of action. I don't like to use until the water starts to warm back up. I don't like to use creature baits. As soon as it doesn't matter how cold it got, as soon as the water starts to warm back up, and they start to pre-spawn, I'm gonna start throwing creature baits, but small ones, and then they'll get bigger and bigger as the water gets warmer. So, but yeah, wintertime, I'm going shad baits, really small baits, Kitech swim baits, that kind of stuff. And then Biospawn's got a new swim baits coming out that's freaking wicked. So you guys watch for that one. It's awesome. Amberjack fishing in the future. If I get the opportunity, I will. What happened to the toad trips you used to film? I still do them. I just don't call them toad trips. I probably need to. That was a good idea, wasn't it? Let's do this for about 2 more minutes, guys. I want a short frogging rod for kayaking under $200. The one that I designed for 13 is $180. It's a Muse Black, 6 foot 5 inch heavy. And it's also a dadgum good skipping rod for skipping jigs under docks. Will you ever throw big swim baits? I threw a 9-inch bull shad for about 2 hours today. Yeah. It was after I saw the 8-pounder come up and eat a golden shiner right up in front of my boat. I'm like, oh, maybe I ought to be throwing something a little bigger. No, couldn't get him to bite though. Let's see, are me, Chad, and Christy coming to Idaho? I do not know. We haven't talked about it. What is the strongest braid knot right now? Braid to hook is, I still use a Palomar. Yeah, I think everybody I know uses a Palomar. So, do you like the Omen Black Gen 2? It's a good rod. Now, I don't like the color. It's a glow stick. I have 4 of them that I use. The color is just really, really, really bright. But they're really nice for me when I'm filming because you guys can see the rod moving if I'm trying to teach how to move the bait and stuff like that. But the blanks are amazing. They're really, really good. Not bad for a $100 rod. So, if you're going to make it all the way to South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area, I am going to go to Lakeland, and then I'm gonna have a few extra days to go where the heck I want to. I think I'm gonna go to Miami, and there's a buddy of mine who fishes Captain Anthony or Chef Anthony, sorry, Captain, and he owns a restaurant down there. He runs a restaurant down there. I'm gonna go down and eat with him. Later, guys. See you in the morning. Will I be at the Classic this year? Yes. What is a good braid? Power Pro keeps digging in my spool. A lot of them will dig in your spool. If the smooth braid digs better or digs worse than the standard braid. I use Seagar Braze X. I don't have a whole lot of problems with digging, but when you set the hook on a fish, it's going to do it anyway, no matter what you do. But some are worse than others, and I found that it's the smooth stuff that really digs bad. How do you get involved in the fishing industry, never having fished major tournaments? I kind of did it by accident. Back when I started, nobody was teaching anybody how to fish online, so I started doing it, and it just kind of happened. I just wanted to teach people how to fish, and the rest of it just it was accidental. Would you ever come out to St. Lawrence River for pig smallmouth? I live along the river and could put you on them. That'd be a lot of fun. Probably not in the plans this year. I'm planning on a swing out to Northern California, and I'll be towing my boat, so it's going to be a long trip. let's see. Florida's doing pretty good. It's treating me well. Just getting into fishing. Been learning off trial and error and watching your videos. Keep them coming. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. Dalton says, do you throw the big swim bait such as an 8-inch or bigger? If so, why haven't you done a video? Because I'm not that good at it. I don't have a lot of confidence in it. What I might do is I've been good friends with Mike Buca, the bull shad guy, since before he started making swim baits. Many years. And so I'm going to see if I can sit down with him and let you guys let him teach you guys everything that he knows about throwing big swim baits. Because, he's one of the best, man. He makes a great swim bait. Alex, yeah, man, it's cold here. Can't wait for these fronts to be over. Me too. Me too. I'm heading down to South Florida here as soon as we're done with this tournament. Are you and your son fishing any tournaments soon? I don't know, and I haven't checked my schedule. I think we have one next month in Alabama, but I'm going to be videoing that one. It should be a lot of fun. It's his high school tournament. Thoughts on tactical bassing? I've known Matt Allen since the forum days, 2003, 2004, and I really have always been a kind of a closet fan of his, and so I'm excited about being able to go out there and maybe fish with him this year. He doesn't know that yet. We talked about it last year and couldn't get together, but this year I'm definitely going to make it happen. Don't let Chad Hoover touch your power pole. Believe me, I don't. Let's see. Pickwick Lake, come catch the smallies, largemouth, and spots. I'm actually going to go to Wilson here in shortly. I'm going to go with a buddy of mine, Ryan Salzman, who guides those lakes. We haven't fished together in a long time. He called me, invited me to come out and go fishing. So I need to learn how to throw those big paddle tail swim baits, and I need to get better at an A-rig. So I'm going to have him teach me a little bit. I'm not so smart that I can't learn something. So let's see. You should come fish Lake Harding in Alabama. Sounds like a good plan. How do I get started tournament fishing? Since we were talking about tournament fishing right now, is get on Kayak Bass Fishing, their Facebook page, and try to find a local club and go kayak fishing, or bass fishing, just a local bass club. It's probably the best way. That power pole clip with Chad is awesome, isn't it? Though, what Chad did was Ryan, my buddy, the guy that I had living with me for a while that passed away of a overdose. He was out in the middle of the lake, and Chad had programmed his key fob to work with Ryan's power pole and got him stuck out in the middle of the lake. It was hilarious. Mark Mead, love my shirt of the month. Thanks, man. If you guys haven't seen my fishing shirt of the month club, go check it out. $10 a month, I send you a fishing shirt, and they're usually pretty cool. So stop in and see Zofinger. Well, yeah, dude, you bet I will. If I remember, I tend to forget that kind of stuff like that. I need to go see him. Did I get a new boat? I did last year, May or June of last year, maybe July. I got a new Lumacraft Pro 185, and then I picked up a new kayak this week, the Jackson Liska, that I'm trying out. So, but yeah, it's a good little kayak. It's pretty stable for being as small as it is. Do I know Cam Hodge? Never heard of him. Do you still fish for crappie? I haven't in a few years. I need to fill my freezer with fish. So, give away the old boats to us. I would, but I technically don't own them. They still belong to Lumacraft. I have to give them back. So, why do you like Lumacraft so much? Because it's inexpensive to run. Aluminum boats in general. I went from a fiberglass boat that cost me $80 to $120 a day to a aluminum boat. I was able to do the same exact thing I was doing, and it only cost me about $30 or $40 a day. So, Adventures 101, man, thanks for the $5. I really appreciate it. That really helps. I love that dang super chat. That's pretty cool. But thanks again, man. You're awesome. Is a fake black much better than a chrome? That's hard to say. It's got better components, a better handle, a better reel seat, and better guides is what it's got. So, and it's got different actions and powers of rods, at least a few of them. Have you ever fished the Jackson Cops ad. I don't know what that is. What is the smallest boat that I can start out fishing tournaments? I don't know. You have to check the rules. They usually, whatever tournaments they are, they usually let you know. I used to fish Wednesday night tournaments in a 14-foot John boat with an 8-horse tiller motor on the back. It was fun to beat all those guys in the big old glitter rockets. Looking for a cheap Alumacraft like a non-boat to convert into a bass boat. That's pretty cool. What's the difference between Alumacraft and Polarcraft? I don't know. I've never been a Polarcraft. I can tell you one thing though. This Alumacraft, it's solid as a rock. It really does ride well in rough water. But all right, last question. I got to go to bed. Do you like to fish with P-line? No. I bought $120 worth of P-line sometime last year. Put them on all my reels, or as many as I could, and within 2 weeks I took it all off. It was the P-line copolymer, and it just was, I didn't like it. It didn't work. I just didn't like it. That's all I got to say. So, but guys, appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. I really do appreciate you guys watching my videos. Be sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Go check out Alex's channel, Alex's Fishing, and man, he does some really funny stuff. So y'all take it easy. Have a good day. And like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water. Go out and catch some fish and have a great day. We'll see you.